today, he's out of there. The movement from Shotzzy just so smooth, but the problem is his teammates go down. Able to find Freesta. Abizi was there though. Abizi stayed alive the entire time. And yeah, a great play from Shotzzy. A better play from Abizi, and AB right back in the hands of the Atlanta Faze.
Still gonna finish off B. But they will clear out Freesta towards mid-map. It seems like every time this battle goes down to B, there's just so many kills coming in for Empire. Now Hoop's able to sneak through, get a smoke down onto A. There's the neutral again that's going to force Celium to wrap back and deal with this one-on-one. That means they can't put pressure onto B. The only place currently capped is going to be C for Empire, and they'll just pick up B.
Yeah, you see the importance of A, right? Atlanta Faze doesn't care about B whatsoever. They want that A home flank, but they have to get the kills. Crim's able to find two. Guess who's still here? It's Hook the Nuke. Doing what he can back by this dumpster. Major Maniac able to take him down, not trying to stay alive. All the red arrows flying back towards this side of the map. And here's the thing. This entire time, Dallas has 2 flags. They have the neutral. They have a 14-point lead.
Yeah, it just feels like Faze have never been able to get set up or get comfortable. There's always one more person at A, it feels like, for Empire. Always one more person with pressure. Now you get 4 kills. Maybe this is the chance to start to breathe a little on the map and slow it down, but they haven't been able to get B until this point in the game. There is Faze getting B, down 14. Now can they lock up Empire? But here they come.
Well,
Shotzzy gets 2.
It reminds me of Hardpoint, right? They're getting the kills to get there, but it's that set after, so where they can get set up and lock them in, that Dallas Empire is just shutting them down, so you're not allowing them to get the setup they want.
It's that big, like, 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 towards B. It feels like Empire's won every single one, right? Like, every single one they've come out of with numbers, and that's why they've been able to flood over towards the A site and continue that pressure there as Illy continues to patrol around B. But it's Empire up 17. They're working to get B capped as well. They're trying to bounce back from that painful round 11 search and destroy loss. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen in with your Dallas Empire.
Top out, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, top
I need it.
I need a top out.
I got multiple guys.
Top out there.
Neutral.
I'm watching. I'm hanging out top
One shot.
out.
They're absolute.
I have your help. Sit on.
I can't be. I gotta be. I stun him their door. I stun him their door.
And I have the left.
That's got done.
Bring this one behind us.
That's the door. Let's try this.
Let's push
To the door. To the door.
To the door.
I got one.
And mid.
One more door. One more door.
Easy, go in their door. Close left.
That's their door to the left and the right. To the left and to the right. To the left and to the right.
He's gonna go top scav.
You got the top out?
I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up.
Get it at?
I'll top out.
Got one P1. One more scav.
I'm trying to watch. I'm watching. See him.
Scav in their door. Scav in their door.
We want to go see. We want to see.
Yo, hurt. Top scav.
Top slant. He was top slant, Porter.
Yeah, I hear you.
I spawned here. You're good.
Okay.
I spawned
He
here.
went back to pit.
I got him.
He's mid map then. Yeah.
I got him.
Nice. Good job.
They beat top out. No, I have
mid stairs
top
now.
out. Top out. Another one.
I need it.
Push. Yo, watch out.
Let's go.
Last kid there. I'm going in.
Let's go. Yo, cut off green.
He's one shot. Fork. One shot. Fork.
Get
my cut off.
Somebody go back to C.
Yo, going back. There's my ticket.
I got cut off.
Go back to
They're gonna be L and B.
They're already B.
Yeah, they're already B.
Top L, I got one.
One on B right now.
Let's go, Porter. Let's go, Porter. Just fly out,
Door,
Porter.
our door, pushed.
Nice, good job.
Milk.
One B, I'm pretty sure.
Yo, you can go back. Yo, P1 on B.
MP1.
He's gonna kick.
Done.
Nice.
Yo,
top A. I got terrible timing.
One of you go back to A.
One top out.
Stay B. Neutral. Deplete B if you can. Deplete B if you can.
Our door dead.
Fork cell. Nice, yo, Jacob on him out.
Fork cell dead. Got him.
Nice, good job.
Trophying A or B.
I'm coming fork.
Depleting with
I
you.
bought him out.
Yo, I'm gonna go see Camp A.
Top L weak. Top L weak. Top L. Two jumped out.
Camp A right now.
Camp A.
We can't, Porter. We're gonna
Bottom
spawn
and
this
top out.
Alright, well, I'm getting it.
Cap C.
I got one on B. Another one on B.
Go to B, Ender.
I still want C. One shot on C. Fuck.
B dead.
2C.
Another guy B right now.
Get him off.
Right side.
I can't see him.
Underneath. Yep.
Oh, yo, good
Okay,
fucking
alright.
bad side,
Yeah,
man.
good
Let's
job,
go.
Good side, boys. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
On B, left corner. All right. Keep this shit up, man.
Yep.
You guys are fucking frying this shit.
Let's go.
Don't get in the middle of that list.
should have
You
a
go to
trophy
me.
right here,
This
yo.
is so
This
impressive.
is the team that does
What
it.
did you love from Empire?
I mean, you heard it right there towards the end. It was Clay, just like what a bad side we heard, right? Who's getting his teammates fired out? That may be the most impressive bad side half a Hackney I've ever seen, where you're spawning on the C side and what they were able to do. They were able to maintain C and B. Every single time they had the opportunity to push A, you heard them push A. They're going to be spawning behind us. They did it. I don't know. It was just so well executed from the Dallas Empire. Yeah, man. I don't really know what else to say besides what a hack.
And I think I heard what I wanted to when I was talking about how Crim and Clay kind of needed to lead the troops to bounce back in this, because yes, you heard like player call outs from Shotzzy, Illy, Hoop, But from Crim and Clay, it was all the, take down the cap, head to A, head here, go here. Like they were literally commanding the troops around the map, and I just thought that was very cool to hear because it felt like Clay would do it, then Crim would pick it up. Like I loved it. I loved that listening. I think that was one of the better ones we've had this year.
And now, can they hold on? We know what the Atlanta Faze can do. I think we saw the stats at the half. Clay had a big half. On the other side, I think Priesta was really struggling, and now you see this AB setup. And guess who can get comfortable and get set up? It's the Dallas Empire, and they have Atlanta Faze trapped. Yeah, 5 and 17 from Priesta, 20 and 10 from Clay.
Is Priesta good? I mean,
yeah, it's just Dom can be tough, man. Hey, if you don't have control a lot, you're constantly running into a setup. You have to win a few one-on-ones, the stuns, the nades hit. I mean, what we talk about all the time. If you get put into the blender, this could be that map.
And this map just in particular, yeah, when you don't have the preferred side, it is so tough. I think it was a couple of the stats guys were tweeting out stats about that yesterday, where it's just comparing what they do when they spawn C versus what they do when they spawn A. Like, it's just nuts, the difference, because it's so much easier to play from that when you're playing from the tough side the entire time. 7 and 19. It's a stat line you're more than likely going to see.
See what they can do. Still plenty of time, but with 3 minutes, 47 points is the difference. You're gonna need a 2-cap and a neutral already for a good chunk of time, and I think Dallas know that. So guess what? They're gonna put pressure at C. They're gonna camp A. They're gonna get some kills. They're gonna get on B. They're just getting on all the flags. They're doing it all right now. This is not good for Atlanta Faze.
No, I mean it's already been not good. Now it's just very, very, very bad for Faze.
Very bad.
Yeah, this is horrible. I just don't know what you do if you're Faze right now. You need just a 2 and a neutral. You gotta start to push. They're able to get AB. 2.5 to go. They have AB. Faze, many would say they're the best team in the world. If someone can pull this off, maybe it is them. And we saw it. Was it versus Subliners yesterday? No, not Subliners.
Yep.
Was it Subliners?
It was.
Yeah. Versus Subliners, where they had that crazy 60-point swing. They've done some wild stuff, but now they know how important this is. Everybody's flooding forward, but you got to worry about a potential spawn flip when you have this aggression. They're still spawning safe at A, but they've got to win this for the neutral as well. If they're able to get a neutral, this lead starts to deplete very quickly. The question is, can they do it? The guy pushed up mid-map is Major Maniac that I think is trying to play from a sneaky position near Smokestack to get this done.
You just have to make sure Shotzzy can't go and like sneak through, right? Because that's what one player is trying to do. And you see the way Crim's playing it right now. He's playing pretty defensive. I mean, he knows that they need to push for that C flag. So I almost feel like you're almost playing like that hardpoint sneak style, where you're playing a little defensive and you have a guy like Hook or Shotzzy just try to get through, maybe pop dead silence and neutral that A flag. We'll see what ends up happening. They gotta go, and they gotta go soon. If you have a 3-cap, it's 36 points per minute. But guess who's playing D? It's Crim once again.
Yeah, not only
they get to
and
A,
the flip.
yeah,
there's the flip as well. That's what's so risky about it. You put all that pressure towards C for the neutral. Not only does Empire get the kills at C, but they also get the flip out towards A, and that more than likely is going to seal the game. I think it's been done for a while, but that'll be the dagger. What a performance from Empire. I mean, it really all just comes down to that first half. That was incredible. It was an amazing listen in to hear the guys talk through the comms. That was sensational. I think you're right. I think that was one of the better performances we've seen from the quote-unquote weak spawn towards C.
That was awesome to watch. I think a lot of teams are going to go back to that and probably copy their play style a little bit. I mean, again, it helps when you're outslaying and someone like Priest is having an off map, but... Well, yeah, they were just right from the start playing that well.
But it was like you kind of highlighted that early. It was like it's 3 to 4 duels around B in a row, where Empire win the fight and they have a massive number advantage, and they're able to continuously just flood A, flood A, flood A, flood A. It just felt like the opening 2.5 minutes of that game before they got the full-on flip. They just had pressure there, always. Like, Faze were always having to track back. They'd have to win that fight at home, and once they finally got back towards B, they'd lose the fight and start the process all over again. Like, it just looked so frustrating from Faze's POV. Just on the back foot from the get-go. Beautiful stuff from Empire. They'll now take a 2-1 edge by winning both respawns. And they're thinking now, you know what Clay's saying, we should have 3-0'd these guys.
One more
We
map.
should have 3-0'd these guys.
Let's
close this out.
Yeah, one more map, but that's what makes it scary, right? Because now you got to go to a hard point, and you are going to Atlanta Faze's pick now, which is Petrograd. So just taking a look for for the hardpoint records. Atlanta 4-1. What is their one loss? It was the absolute massacre that you and I watched yesterday against New York. So I think you feel good, but you also know, sheesh, we just played that map yesterday. Let's not make the same mistakes. On the other side for Dallas, 2-2 on St. Petrograd hardpoint. So a good map for both of these teams. But yeah, I mean, I talked to Crowder after it. I was like, I mean, listen, I know your team. You tell us about it all the time. After that, you know, St. Petrograd hardpoint, what was the team like? And it's just like, you know, Stella was, we got smoked. On to the next one. Like, nothing you can do about that. Or you're getting out-rotated and outslayed every single hill. So I'm sure they will focus up on this one.
Well, just to give you an idea how bad it was, like, what have we talked about so much this year? That there have been so few 100-point clubs compared to previous years. I think part of that is the spawns and the nature of this game, and part of it is just the level of competition we now have in a 12-team league. But I think there's been something like 200-point clubs all year, and they got smoked. Like, they're one of those two, and this is the last time they played that map. So I would think they put some time into this overnight and talked about with the coaching staff on how to improve, but like, yeah, that was one of the worst losses we've seen the whole year.
And it's so weird, I think, too, to see it on that map, because St. Petrograd, what it does, it sets up easy rotations, right? Like, when you're getting a bad spawn, it sets you up for the next hill pretty easily, where you shouldn't be getting 100-point clubbed, right? Like, you should just be able to, you talk about the rotation from Cafe to Hazmat, or from Hazmat to Pool Hall. They're all the way across the map, right? So one team is spawning on the opposite side. That's why it was so impressive yesterday for New York.
But what was your big takeaway from the game one in this series? Faze at times had the early rotation. Empire broke. So we know Empire's capable of doing it. If they get a couple of those big breaks here, I feel it's even, I don't want to say more lethal than Gunrunner, but yeah, I think you kind of, yeah, you're right in the sense of you really do get set up. It's sort of like a seesaw in a sense, right? You know, you get the early setup for this one, the next team gets the early setup for the next, and it comes down to who can get those crucial breaks. But as much as FaZe, I think this year had probably been the most impressive team at getting breaks just due to their raw slang and talent. If we just look at the map one, it was Empire that won that battle.
Yeah, fundamentally, Empire right now just seems to be on point. When they're getting the setups, they know exactly what they want to do on the map. Everybody's getting those kills, and it's dangerous right now. I know we talk a lot about, you know, Minnesota and how they play the map, but it feels like over the last, about month, Empire has stepped it up significantly.
Well, we know it's the role change, which we've beaten that to death talking about that, but then also the coaching change with Rambo coming in. I don't think you and I know how much of an impact he's had, but I'm sure in some capacity he certainly assisted the team. I mean, if they win this, he'd be 2 for 3 since he joined, so that looks pretty good for his resume. But whatever it is, whether it's Rambo, whether it's the role change, whether it's the vets, whether it's the young guys, it's obviously a combination of all of them. It's working for Empire.
Well, listen, I played with Ray for a very long time, and he always had what he called rules on the map. Like, when this happens, don't do this, basically. Like, don't be in this area. It's like, if we spawn C, don't go to the right side because we have the chance of being spawn trapped. So I think for those younger guys, if you want to talk about his impact, it's probably that the guy just sort of keeps the game as simple as possible to make sure there's certain things that you do when you spawn up.
Let's get into map 4. Dallas looking to close this out. It's CDL Game Day presented by Game Fuel, and this is your home series final. Either of these teams is going to be the first 2-time champ this year. It'll be their second home series win. Faze, I'm hoping they get us to a map 5 because I want a map 5 after that game too. That search was just a treat to commentate. I'm sure you guys at home had a pleasure watching it, but FaZe have got to take this hardpoint. Hardpoint has been not great for them this weekend, at least. They lose 2 to subliners. They drop the map 1 here. It's not been their top mode, that's for sure.
And think about what it was yesterday against New York. I mean, on this map, they started down 50 points, and they lost the rotation already. 22 on the board for the Dallas Empire. Hook's locking down middle of the map. That player that was trying to rotate, he gets taken down. That was a beezy. So you're already in a tough position if you're the Atlanta FaZe. They're going to try to fight for this scrap time, which I really, at this point, don't blame them. They'll get these 15 seconds. As, a nice rotation from the Dallas Empire. A good start for them.
It's kind of funny how things have kind of come full circle when you think about all we had early was online scrims. 2 top teams that we were discussing were Empire and FaZe. That conversation obviously changed as Empire came out flat. And Huntsman won an event, but now because of everything going, we're back to this online structure. And who is it that we're going to tout the #1 team? It's Faze or Empire.
Guys, Dallas Empire getting set up. You don't even have a presence here quite yet. Major Maniac's going to be the first guy by this hotel. Checks the right door. See you later, Krim. He's got another player to deal with. That's Shotzi. The rest of his teammates get taken down. Right now, you're at this point with 30 seconds left. What else do you throw at this? Because you're going to have to rotate all the way to Hazmat. It looks like they're just going to lock this down, but you already have, what, this 60-point deficit for the Atlanta Faze.
It's a big lead for Empire. You heard the comms from him in the last map. They were on point. They seem to be on point here as well. But I've got to hear it from Faze as they try to ramp up this comeback. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen in with your Atlanta Faze.
Oh no, Shotzi got through.
Kitchen on me.
Up, blue. One shot.
I'm kitchen, one midi, but line. Tunnel right now.
Yes, stay. Back water. Nice job, good job.
Nade over water. Do you have window?
I water. Clay's water. I water.
Weak.
Window, one shot. Two. Shotty.
Nice.
Stay.
One's trapped me.
Nice.
I'm at window right now. It's a big thing.
Running water.
Window right now.
Window on me. Window on me.
Window.
And back door.
Nice.
Window and back door. Window
I
shot.
need them window.
He's weak in the closet.
There's
3 in.
One more. Maybe.
Big one's in hill.
I'm holding your time. Watch it. Spawn out. They flip, guys. Nice. Good shit.
Good job.
Another little time. Trying to get water.
Okay, good shit, Tyler.
I
can't look water. I'm top good.
You got water.
Guys,
you guys have my front, right? I don't have your front. I do not have your front.
Guys, they can get to my front. Inside of pool. What a moment this is for Faze if they're going to bring it back, Joe.
Yeah, I got a little bit nervous because Dallas did what they did in map 1, where they just, when Atlanta rotates, they made it chaotic. They contested a lot of the time, but it was Abizi who made a huge play, was able to rotate out towards Pool Hall, was able to find Hook in a 1v1, won that gunfight, and they were able to make it a little bit easier on themselves. Now only down 30 points. There's 20 left in Pool Hall. It's a nice comeback from the Atlanta Faze.
What I find so interesting, though, is like Faze live in the chaos, right? That controlled chaos is where they thrive. When they struggled against Minnesota Rocker, they kind of slowed it down and reduced the chaos. That has not been Empire's game plan. They're welcoming they're welcoming the chaos. They're going toe-to-toe with Faze, and this is just something we have not seen this year.
Yeah, not at all. But I think it's because of, I mean, we talked about it before the match. Like, you have Illy, Hook, and Shotzi who could play at the pace of the other 3 players on the Atlanta Faze. And I don't think there are a lot of teams in the CDL that can do that.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. But they're down 50 now, trying to battle back in a restaurant before this second set of rotation starts. And I think if you're going to bring this back, it starts with this second set. Like, it was sloppy from Faze. They were down 60 out of the gate, basically. As Empire dominated it early. Through the first and second hard point, Faze have surely just got to be better. But this lead grows and grows for Empires. They get all this time inside a restaurant. It's going to be what? Got 80 point advantage, yeah, somewhere in there?
80 points, yeah, 80 points. Yeah, I mean, again, you get into a hill, they get set up, and Atlanta Faze just can't get in. It's what we've been seeing. It's really what the trend has been. Now can Atlanta Faze respond with one of their own? Major Maniac trying to work the flank. He's able to find Illy. He's able to find Hoot. That's a nice start. To start to earn this time on this first hill inside of Cargo. One player, though, in Krim, I think, is sneaking around. See that number 2? He's able to find him. That's going to set up the pinch. As soon as he comes through, it's Shotzi who gets on the hill. It's all up to Celium, and Celium goes big.
Yeah, those two were desperately needed. But now with 30 seconds remaining on this, you got to think about the time. You also have to think about next. In Empire, they get in. How much more is Faze going to throw at this on the cross? I think it's Abizi that got through for a moment, but he's going to get dropped. Clay and Shotzi combined to bring down 4. Faze will get set up for next as the seesaw continues, but that's a big, 25 points or so for Empire.
Yeah, we're talking about the seesaw back and forth, but that's the thing. It really hasn't been back and forth because Dallas have done such a good job. You think Dallas should have the rotation to Hazmat, coming up next. So this Cafe Hill has to be huge for the Atlanta Faze. They need a response. You need 40 or 50 points here. Major Maniac inside. Pool Hall is able to take that down. That's going to be 4 dead as they start to get a little bit aggressive towards middle of the map.
I think they want to push this out. If they can somehow chain these together, how insane it would be. But they still have to hold on at home.
Yeah.
They still have to hold on at home. And now the contest is in. Empire have gotten in, 4 points away from getting over that 200-point mark and looking to close out this game. 60-point deficit still for FaZe. For the most part, it's been solid here. I know there's been a bit of a contest, but it's a lot of points for FaZe. Now going all the way around that number 8, we'll keep an eye on Priesta and see what he's able to do on the other side of the map. For Empire, it's Illy that gets the first rotation in. So a good hard point for FaZe, but still it feels like so much more work to do when you see the scoreline.
Can they do what Dallas did? Can you contest this? Maybe only give Dallas 20 points here and have a nice rotation to Pool Hall towards that hill number 4. And then from Pool Hall, you can sort of tie the game up. Priesta with a nice nade over the top. He's able to break through, and he's going to flip those spawns. Priesta, we talked about his heroics so many times. Did not have a great map 3. He's able to find 3 kills, gets on the hill, and flip the spawns. Another great play from him.
That was even better than I think what you wanted. You were talking about contesting the time. They break the spawns nearly instantly as things might be falling apart for Empire. They still have a 40-point advantage. Illy, a wondrous play. 3, nearly 4. Priest the Major Maniac will clutch up, but you're at least contesting if you're Empire with a multi-kill through for Illy. A team kill for FaZe, but they've done a good enough job to give themselves a chance in this game. If they don't get that early break, it's likely done, but they're still battling, desperately clawing to get into a map 5.
I was gonna say they found kills on Hook and Crim. So like, when you sort of have those mid-map setups where you can't get across until 40, 35 seconds, they don't have that. So they already have some front door presence. You have one person working blue courtyard, so you have a chance here if you're FaZe, but it comes down to this. 4 players to the front, 2 go down. You had a BZ work in the back, and here comes the Atlanta FaZe.
Here's the swarm. What a moment this is. Down 30 as they try to break on in. It's Major Maniac Simp with 2. They get in instantly, but you're still spawning so close if you're Empire. They're going to be able to keep rallying troops into this, but it's another hard point that FaZe get into so quickly, Joe. But Crim, Illy, Shotzi, Clay, they want nothing to do with it. That's going to be 4 down. 227 to 200. Empire so close to winning this game.
Not win here, though. We're going to go back to restaurant. Still, though, FaZe don't want them to get that scrap time. That's going to put them so close. So that'll put them at 243. But it's going to happen. Can they have a near perfect hold? No Shotzi and Hook hit 4. Hook with the 5th, and that could be it, Maven.
Shotzi and Hook go huge.